All right. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday night. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Got the green going in the background. We should have our guest join in here shortly. He is in the belly of the beast down in Florence, Alabama, or somewhere down there anyways. So we'll see how that goes. Been in contact with him. He should be able to join here, but we'll see how that goes. So if things are rough down there, or the internet goes out, or he has to take shelter, we'll have to be aware of that, and we'll just go solo or bring somebody else in. But either way, I'm excited to be back. Taking a week off last week felt like an eternity. Like, I don't know, felt like a month, even though I was only out for a week. What's up, Connor? What's up, YouTube Cuz? What's up, Daryl Wilson? Thanks for joining. How's the sound, everybody, for me in the video? Love to hear. Make sure the setup hasn't changed in a week while I was gone. Let me know in the chat. But our guest should be here any minute. But otherwise, I finally got out fishing last week. That was pretty exciting. I did a little bit of like inshore, intercoastal waterway kind of casting that really amounted to nothing around our house rental. But I did make a road trip to Smith Mountain Lake, which is in my recent video from Monday. So if you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you go check out my video from Monday. I think it's actually pretty good. Spent quite a bit of time editing. Love to hear what you guys think. If anybody in the chat watched it, let me know what your thoughts on the video that came out this Monday. It was good to be back editing, fishing live, open water, fishing, catching bass, instead of just doing stuff here in the studio, tips, tactics, rod reviews, and that kind of stuff. So it was awesome to be out fishing. So if anybody watched that, let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, while we're warming up here in the chat, feel free to ask some questions. The main focus of today, we'll be talking about Pickwick, Bassmaster Elite Series, which kicks off tomorrow morning. What's up, Monty McWilliams? Bring in the heat. What's up, buddy? How are you tonight? Happy St. Patrick's Day to you, Monty. I tried to get Baitman to tell me what kind of hat you would wear so I could make you a visor and get it to you, and he got busy with his Texas trip and that kind of stuff. So, Monty, if you're on like Facebook or Instagram, or send me an email or a message somehow so I know how to get a hold of you so we can get you a visor for sure. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully you are. I think you're north of the storms from what I understand, so hopefully you're safe, Monty. But get a hold of me. But like I was saying, yeah, we a lot of talk about Pickwick tonight. I think this, barring these storms really jacking things up, I think this could be a really amazing tournament to follow on Bassmaster Live and FS1 this weekend, and I'm pretty excited. Did my fantasy video last week, and I'm ready to go. What's up, Sycamore? Isn't everybody Irish tonight? I do have a spotted cow to enjoy tonight during the stream. Daryl looks like he's headed to Gunnersville. Yeah, maybe sleep in tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to be biting in the morning, but who knows? But either way, it sounds like it's prime time on the Tennessee River right now, so it should be good either way. What's up, Shadow Bass? And good to see you here. Anybody hanging out in the KVD stream? I feel like my guest is a little confused on what's going on. Give me one. Let's see. What's up, Bob Davis? The Ring of Dingle. I've actually been to Dingle. I've been to Ireland twice. So, what's up, Billy? What's up, Brody? A little bit of water. Water's coming up. That's good. Yeah. Is there anybody else hearing static, or is it just him? That'd be good to know. Should be the good mic. Everything looks right. Dumped KVD for the lid. I don't blame you. I think his show ended right at 8, so you didn't have to dump him too hard. What's up, everybody? Rolling in. Thanks, David. Even if it's for a few minutes, that's awesome. Yeah, awesome to see people rolling in. A lot of current could be good tomorrow, so I think that could be good. I don't think his internet is very good, because I've sent him the link 3 times and he doesn't appear to be seeing it. So Yeah, what's up with Bateman? I don't know. He's working on some editing, taking a YouTube break. So yeah, I don't know. He's I think he's seeing a little content creator burnout right now. Maybe I have to get him on. Maybe if I can get him on my stream, then that'll get his juices flowing again, get him excited. But I don't know. So I haven't talked to him too much about YouTube. I've chatted with him a little bit about some other stuff. Looks like the static is just you, Doug. Adam, he's messaging me, and I keep sending him the link to the invite, but I don't know if he's not seeing it or yeah, he's definitely in the core of where there could be severe weather for sure. That sounds like a lot of water, Daryl. Let me just try something else quick for Bart. Try sending it another way. See if this works. All right. Otherwise, what's back? Yeah. Send him some wee baits. He better go fishing if we're going to send him some wee baits, Jeff. What's up, Walt? What's up, Tom? Yeah, I think maybe Bateman's just tired from catching too many fish when he was down on OHIV. First 3 baits I'll throw in Minnesota. Are we talking about like for bowfin, or are we talking about during the bass opener? Let's just assume we're talking about the bass opener, Doug. This year, I mean, last year, first 3 baits I threw were a lipless crankbait, a bladed jig, and flipped a jig. So probably be similar, unless it's really advanced. That's probably my 3 go-to. Maybe a swim jig. Storming pretty good here. What's up, Greg? Things are pretty nice up here in Minnesota. We're warming up. I did stick with my fantasy picks. I didn't change any of them, Ryan. You lost the feed. Is that your end or my end? I think it's pretty good on my end, but love to hear if we're having any issues. Scary weather in the SIP today. Might have to fight for a pace at Kroger. Yeah, I loved the Kroger Island area when I was down there in November for sure. Yeah, I was actually fishing in Virginia, but our rental house was in North Carolina. So I made so it was an interesting story. I actually we stayed in Topsail, North Carolina, and I got up at 3 a.m, made a 4.5 hour drive up to Smith Mountain Lake, and fished for 11 hours, 4.5 hours home. So I was gone from 3 a.m. to almost midnight. I think we finally have somebody in the queue here. Look who it is. Wake up, Adam.
I'm here.
A little choppy, but I can hear him. Maybe it's just a start. It looks good now. It was a little fuzzy at first. So Stormwatch Central from middle of Alabama. What can we report live from where are we staying? Are you in Florence? Or are you in
We're over in Waterloo. So we're west
nice.
of Florence, like 30 minutes ish, 20, 30 minutes. We've just gotten a ton of rain, to be honest. Well, like tons of lightning and stuff too, but yeah, just a lot of rain. Florence had tornado warnings earlier, but we never had anything.
Yeah, well, that's good news. Sounds like there'll be plenty of current tomorrow.
Yeah, dude, the water's going up fast. Like we've probably gotten 2 or 3 inches of rain already.
Well, they need it, because with the pictures I saw, what you were kind of telling me, it was uber low even for this time of year. Like, I don't know that you could get in money of those like coffee sloughs and some of those places. At least maybe you will later this week, but early in practice, I don't know that even guys were getting in those places.
Yeah, you should be able to get into basically everything after tomorrow. But like I was telling you, most of those like main river or main like cuts, not like the major creeks, but the cuts, like they were just bottomed out. Like you could see the bottom. There's no water in them. So should be water now.
Yeah, it's like they kind of extra drew it down in preparation for the spring rain that hadn't quite hit yet. So
yeah, and they drew it down yesterday even more, from what I heard, in preparing for today. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of water coming through Alabama right now.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, Doug. Yes, border waters do open earlier for Minnesota. I don't think you can go. I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong with Christie or Walters in A. I don't think either one of those. Those are both good picks. I don't know. All right, cool. So, I was gonna see where was he? So Pickwick. So Bart's staying in a house with a bunch of Elite Series anglers. Obviously, we're not going to ask him for specifics of what's going on, but what's the vibe? What's the mood? Are people excited to get out tomorrow? I mean, are people genuinely like jacked to get out there, or are they kind of like apprehensive? What's the vibe?
The vibe. You were a little choppy there for a second, so I might have another storm coming through. But the vibe here seems to be that everybody wants to. Like, everybody just wants to get out there and see what these storms actually do to the Tennessee River. That's kind of what it seems like more than anything. It seems like everybody's catching them pretty good, but just nobody knows what's going to happen. I mean, it's going to go up 3 feet or more. Like, I don't really know how to get ready for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's cautious optimism going in tomorrow. Like, they know the fish are biting. They know they're big. They know things are going to change. So it's kind of like, I don't know, probably be some people rolling around in their sleep, not thinking about what they're going to do tomorrow and not sleeping a lot.
Yeah. I mean, there are guys who are just going to roll brand new areas tomorrow. There are guys who are going to an area and buckling down. I don't know. It's really going to be interesting. I can't really think of an event that we've seen where you're getting this crazy of weather literally the night before, and going from like winter pool to regular pool with pre-spawn, spawn type conditions, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure there has been, but I can't think of it.
Yeah, nothing recently. And especially on the Tennessee River, like, really anything's possible tomorrow. It fully is. I mean, there are some guys who think that it's rain and them opening the gates are just going to make them chew, and you're going to see even bigger bass and bags than you originally thought. So...
Yeah, for sure. And I think it'd just be a matter of like, are those fish going to stay put or are they going to move? Right. And then are you going to have to relocate them? And like, I think it depends. Like, if you were fishing at the mouth of some of these sloughs, I feel like them fish could move a lot on you. Right. But if you were fishing something more river oriented, right, where they got more vertical space to go up, right, they can just shift down the bank or up on a shelf or whatever. That's a little less risky. But like, if you were literally fishing fish right at the mouth of a big slough and all of a sudden 2 feet of water, then like, they could just like totally disperse on you. So it'd be really interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the one thing about the water being so low is you can't really find any fish on anything besides main river stuff. So like the common question around here right now is, where are they going to go? Because like, there's no water anywhere. So where would they go? You know, it's tough to imagine that.
Yeah, for sure. It's gotta be interesting. Like, so let's talk a little bit about what you're doing this year, and that'll kind of explain what's going on. So, last year you kind of dabbled. You did a little bit of elite stuff for Carl. Did some media work, some camera stuff. But this year you're kind of on the Elite Series for the whole year. How does that come about? What are you all doing? I think you're doing some. I mean, I see like you and different guys' boats. I see you doing some stuff for Scott. Like, what are you all doing? Freelancing? You know, who are you working for? What are you doing? Just give us kind of a high level overview of what you're all doing on the Elites this year.
Yeah. So like, what I'm doing for the Elite Series is like, basically the best way to explain it is like, I'm just freelancing for everyone. For me, like, doing this work is I want to eventually fish, you know, like the Opens and the Elite Series, and I could never be a angler, and like, I just couldn't handle it mentally. Anybody who knows me knows I couldn't do it. So for me, it's like getting into the boat with all these guys. So what I kind of came up with after talking with Carl was there's a lot of guys who can't really afford to do a full season, full series, YouTube show, right? Like the Scott Martin or Brandon Polinick, or now you're starting to see Stetson Blaylock and then Drew Cook and Drew Benton. Not everyone can do that. So what I've kind of offered a bunch of guys is a smaller package to help them get media content for their social medias, for sponsors, whatever they might need. So I'll help out like 4 to 6 guys per event. And then what I also kind of am doing, so I'll have like 3 guys that aren't in this house I'm in right now. And then I help Scott Martin and the SMC crew. So with Scott, I take a bunch of pictures and then I run like their second camera, or help McCoy get B-roll, or help McCoy edit something to get it around quicker, or like day 1 of practice, I ran around with Scott the whole day. So it's kind of just helping out in the house more than anything. But yeah, I'm kind of a jack of all trades down here.
Yeah, so you're pouring a little extra gas on the Scott Martin fire just to help fuel that, make it grow even faster, giving them a little more power. So
yeah, exactly. Well, I'm helping get stills for everything. Like a lot of my stuff I'm doing for them. You'll see on like Matt Arey or Scott Canterbury's social medias, and then some of Scott's too. But like a lot of it gets sent to sponsors and stuff like that. So it's just helping keep everybody happy and keep it rolling.
Yeah, very cool. So you've been traveling with the same crew. I don't think Scott's there this week because he's maybe staying at home or something like that. But who's all in the house this week?
So Canterbury's staying with Jay Yellis this week. I think they had gotten a place to stay before the whole SMC crew thing really happened.
Sure. Yeah.
But so it's me, Scott, and then McCoy, Scott's son Jake, and then Matt Arey. So we're all chilling in a place together right now. Nice. And then normally you just add in Scott Canterbury, and then
maybe Bill, and maybe Billy.
Yeah, and Billy. Yeah, if he's around. He was at the St. John's. I don't think he's going to be at the Texas events.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. He's going to be at the ones that are closer to where he is. Obviously, I don't even think I'm going to be at the Texas events, to be honest.
Nice. Cool. So that's all part of the Bartusek Media umbrella that you started basically a year ago, almost, right? This has got to be pretty close to your 1-year anniversary coming up, right?
Yeah, I'm like 2 weeks away from the day I lost my job. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Crazy to see kind of where it is a year later, a lot of stuff has happened, and a lot of good stuff for a lot of different people in the outdoors. I mean, your stuff has really taken off as well over the last year. I know we've talked about.
Yeah, it's been cool. I mean, obviously, gives I don't know. Back then, it gave people more time to like dig into projects, and now I think a lot of people got used to taking in extra content, and so I think it's kind of shifted the way people consume things. To be honest, with all that extra time on their hands.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, there's just more to do and more to get done, and a lot of people are spending more time outside. So there's just, it's great. I mean, I can't really complain about any of it.
Yeah, cool. So everything, like looking back a year now, like obviously, 50 weeks ago you were pretty bummed, right? Like, man, this didn't see this coming, right? But now looking back, I mean, do you feel like it was like a blessing, like that was meant to be, and you're actually pretty happy about the way things turned out?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Like, I mean, at the time, like, if anybody's not aware, like, I had worked a corporate sales job, and I was doing stuff in the outdoor industry basically part-time. Excuse me, part-time. And then once COVID hit, I ended up losing my sales job. So after speaking with like Sam Sobiek, Jay Seaman, Sam Moore, a bunch of other guys, just decided I was going to go do this. So, I mean, a year later, looking back at it, it's crazy because I'm like, this is something I definitely should have been doing already. And I'm glad I finally got the push.
Right.
because like McCoy and I were talking about it driving back, I think like yesterday, that what are these guys arguing about right now? I don't know what they're yelling at each other about. But McCoy and I were talking about it the other day, is like, there's so many people who could go do this, right? But like the biggest decision you make is like literally doing it. Like there's literally one decision between stopping anybody from doing this, and it's just doing it. And that's how crazy it is. There's a ton of work to be done out there. There's people always looking for video content. Like I'm 100% self-taught. I never went to school for any of this. I learned 100% off of YouTube tutorials and talking to other creators. So like, if you want to do it, do it. Like that's kind of what I tell everyone. Just it's one decision, and I ultimately made one decision and worked my tail off, and here I am now, chilling, in the Scott Martin's house for the Elite Series event, chilling with a bunch of different Elite Series guys. Like I'm filming for Hank Cherry this year, the Bassmaster Classic champion. Like, just hopping around, and it's just kind of life. That's normal life now, which is pretty crazy. But it's always cool to look at,
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm also self-taught, but people probably can tell that from watching my videos.
We all come from somewhere, man.
Yeah. I was definitely, much better at writing blogs and doing things like that, but I really enjoy the video process, and I know there's plenty of room to grow in that. But I actually feel like I'm pretty good at teaching people how to fish and giving information, and I just need to like catch up on the visual side of it. So.
Yeah. And like, I think that's just part of like being a storyteller, right? Like,
right.
What a lot of people don't know about me is like my freshman year of college, I went to college to be an English writing major. So like, and I have a full like fiction novel written on my laptop, and like, I've done a bunch of different stuff, right? I love telling stories. I love reading books. But then kind of when I got into this, it turned into, all right, just this is a different avenue of storytelling. And it's a lot easier than sitting down it's more entertaining, I should say, than sitting down on the laptop for months in a row and just typing words. And then like reading it 12 times and being like, does that even make sense? Like you just get to watch it. It's just way cooler.
Yeah. The payoff comes quicker, right? Like you crank something out, you see how it does, you see how people react, and then you do it again. So it's like a book writing thing, right? Is like this long process, and then you kind of like wait and be like, wow, it's a long burn, right? Or slow burn.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously a ton of rain. How many of the guys in the house went out today versus just kind of like hanging out? Like, did people adjust their practice plans today?
Yeah, so I'm actually looking at the radar right now, because that's like been partially my job, is to make sure we're not going to get blown away. It looks like we're going to have one more big band come through here, but then I think we're going to be done. I don't know. Waldo's been texting me updates if it's like super severe. He actually texted me about the Florence one. But yeah, so basically last night we got back and looked at everything, and we're like, what are we going to do tomorrow? And it was like, we'll just look at the radar. And then me and Scott Martin woke up at, 6 a.m. And Scott looked at me and was like, so what are we going to do? And I looked at the radar. I was like, we're going to get blasted in about 30 minutes. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, it sheer poured for 2, 3, 4 hours this morning. We all stayed in. We went and we got a breakfast sandwich, and there was one guy out there. It was Brandon Card, and then Matt Robertson was chilling at the access. I think he had gone out and then came in, and he was just chilling in his truck. But like, not a lot of guys went out. Normally with these type of storms, you'll see a 50-50 split of guys who go out and guys who don't. I just think kind of with today and how much it was like people saying like, hey, today's going to be really bad. And like, dude, last night Bass texted all of us got texts of this is where your nearest tornado shelter is by county. And I think that was like a eye-opening wake-up call of like, hey, it's going to be pretty dangerous tomorrow. You probably shouldn't go out. So we waited until 10 or 11. Then Scott and Matt Arey went, and they dumped in up at the tail race today, and they just kind of messed around at the tail race for 3 or 4 hours. And then we had another storm coming in. They got off and came back. And that's the one where if you saw like Gerald Swindle or Kyle Van Dever or whatever stories, Florence got hit. But there was a tornado down, but it came up before it hit Florence. So they just got really severe weather. But yeah, the sirens were going off all over Florence, and we were just chilling here. Nothing happening here. So
catching up on that edit, getting a head start, getting pictures done and videos clipped, and
man, there's always stuff happening here. That's what's crazy. Like, it's a cool life, and like there's a lot going on. But like I tell people when I'm on the road at these events, like, I mean, I go to bed pretty normally 12 at night to 1 in the morning, and then I wake up at the same time or before they go to practice. So 5 or 4:30 in the morning, whatever it is. I got to be up and ready to go, and then I'm not a napper. Like once I'm up, I'm editing. So if I'm not in the boat, I'm sitting at home, just editing. And it's long days. It's like 16 to 18-hour days, but they're fun days. Especially when like one of the guys you're covering is doing well. Like when I was at Knoxville, I was covering Gussie, that event, and then Scott Canterbury. So like that was super fun because guys were doing well.
Yeah, and I think
Gussie was just crushing them.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, on the way home from North Carolina, I had the wife drive for about 2 hours, and I just like went through all my GoPro footage and clipped it and labeled it and got everything ready. So when I got home, I could knock out a video for Monday. So,
it's just being efficient. It's really what it is, and it can be so hard, dude. It can be so hard, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Well, this one should be a good one because I expect, whether it's Bass Live, whether it's the guys doing their own videos, like fish catches, I think are going to be plentiful and quality fish. So I think like this is going to be for the fans, for guys like you that are covering it, for the anglers, for the majority of everybody. This is going to be.
What are you doing?
What?
You have bottles of water, Arey. Oh no! Yeah, you're good.
Hey, tell Arey not to suck. Remember that he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I will. All of a sudden, Arey's staring at me through the door with 2 water bottles, and I'm like, "Oh,
don't be sitting. Don't put your butt where my head goes, dude. What's wrong with you?
You got to deal with it, Scott."
No. Turn around. I'm still in the bed. Get it out. Get that out of there.
I'm just chilling. What do you want, McCoy? McCoy, do you want to say hi to Rich? You want to be on a podcast?
Huh? Who is it?
It's McCoy. Here.
Stream.
How's it going?
What's up, McCoy?
What is that?
It's Rich Lindgren. You want to say hi, Scott? HellaBass? He writes some of the fantasy fishing stuff.
Okay, yeah. What's up? What's up, man?
What's up, Scott?
Are y'all live right now?
Yes.
We're live on YouTube, Facebook.
Oh, really? So now I got to keep it clean. Will you tell Adam to get his, off my pillow?
I had to chill in his room because they were too loud out in the main room.
Yeah.
What's
So you're
up,
in like
man?
the master suite.
Yeah. Here, you want to tell him about how your practice has been?
I don't even know.
How your practice has been?
The practice doesn't matter because the water now is up 3 feet, and it's going to continue to rise another foot or 2. So by tomorrow morning, it's going to be 5 feet higher than it is yesterday. And so that means grass that I was fishing in 6 is going to be 11 feet deep. So I'm not going to catch any fish in 11 foot of water. I have to go refine them.
Yeah. So are you going to start where you left, or are you just going to start looking at new water right away?
Well, I mean, there's shallower water around the area, so I'll just have to make some adjustments left to right. But it's, we're going to have to just kind of keep a little open mind tomorrow.
Right. But you expect, I mean, like the vibe I'm getting is like the bite's good. So if you keep moving, you'll run into them, and right. This isn't Knoxville where you're hoping to get 3 bites a day. Like if you find them, they're going to be biting, right?
Yeah. I think if you get around one, they'll bite. That's for sure. It's just, I don't know much about this place with the water, the way it is. I really don't. So, I know, I know guys catch them when the water's hot, but it's just weird, man. I mean, big storms and all that too, so it might, we'll just know tomorrow. Really, I'm going to keep an open mind.
Yeah. So first cast, brown or green? You looking for?
I'm pretty much largemouth fishing. Yeah,
Okay.
I may go smallmouth fishing. Up in the current at some point tomorrow, depending on how the day's going. If it's going well and I haven't upgraded in a while, I'll go. And if it's not going well, I'll go. So I'll there's a good chance I'll be fishing for smallmouth in the afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool.
Yeah.
I think we're all excited. I mean, I think for the anglers, for everybody, I think we're all excited to watch this event unfold because I think it's going to be good regardless. I mean, obviously this is a curveball, but I think you guys are going to figure them out and it's going to be a good event. So
yeah, I'm excited. Anytime you're on Pickwick in the spring, big things can happen for sure. I think it'll take, I think it's going to take almost 100 pounds to win.
Yeah, right. Almost 90 is what I picked for fantasy. So,
Cool. All right, dude, I got to go rig up. See you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So there's your summary of how Pickwick's going.
There's your Scott Martin cameo on the HellaBass live stream.
Yeah. Nah, he should. I think he'll catch him tomorrow. Maybe.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys are going to catch him.
Yeah, his is going to be interesting because I was with him when he figured out his bite. So
sure. Was not getting into details. Was he setting the hook a lot? Was he pulling on a lot of fish? What kind of strategy was in play?
Kind of both. Like at first he was just setting the hook, and then he kind of started figuring out what was going on, and much more low key then.
So you guys saw some quality on day one?
They're all yelling at each other again. It's 24/7 mayhem in here.
Yeah, except for maybe for 5 hours at night when they're sleeping, it gets quiet for just a
and then you wake up in the morning to pots banging or foghorns going off or someone's getting
Billy.
hot sauce somewhere. Yeah, or Billy. Billy's a morning person, so.
Gary's he's taking the hot take and he's updating his fantasy total. So
yeah. No, I mean they're gonna catch it. Really, dude. The only way they're not gonna catch them is if it gets super muddy, and that's like chocolate milk muddy. Which with the water having been at winter pool, I don't think it'll get that muddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's there's grass in Pickwick, so there's certain areas that will obviously have the ability to filter themselves much quicker than others. So it'll be interesting to see how it.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, but they're gonna catch them.
And this is Tennessee River. Them fish are used to little mud. They're not. This isn't like a crystal clean fishery. Turn into mud.
No.
They've seen mud before, so it's not gonna completely freak the fish out.
One is Pickwick, man. They crank. The faster they crank the current here, the more they bite. I swear.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, it should be cool. So you what was the biggest fish you saw in practice?
4 1/4.
Okay, so no freaks or anything, but just quality fish.
Nothing crazy big. I haven't seen anything crazy big in any of the practices. The biggest bass I've ever seen, though, I shot a picture of for Hank Cherry at St. John's. An 8 1/4, whatever one he caught the first day.
Sure.
But
nice.
Yeah, nothing crazy big here. I haven't really heard of anything crazy big either. Just lots and fives. Lot.
Yeah, I've seen a few weird angle pictures of some fish that hard to tell. Are those 4-pounders or those 7? You know what I mean? They're weird.
There's
stuffy,
a lot of 4 to 5 pounders being caught.
Yeah, but I mean, I would not be shocked to see a 9, 10, 11 pounder during the event at some point.
No, if you look back routinely at Pickwick, normally there is.
Yeah,
you might see a 6 or 7 pound smallmouth. That'd be the coolest thing.
I think that a 6-pound smallie, I think, is almost guaranteed. Honestly,
yeah.
I mean,
as crazy as that sounds, it's Pickwick, and literally every gate is wide open right now. Talking prime conditions for those suckers.
Yeah. Interesting. But I was watching like a little bit of the Davey Height thing, and like there's can't be water where he was catching them. Like that's got to be. Well, I don't know. Like it's gonna have to come up a lot to be water where he was catching them.
We were actually just watching that before I hopped on with you.
Yeah, that's because like when I was there in November, like you couldn't get there. You'd need to get your boat and then get a 4-wheeler out and then drive. Like it's you're a long ways away on shore before you get to where he was fishing in that tournament. So, but maybe by the end of the week you might be able to get there. Who knows?
Yeah, no, I mean, like Scott said, man, the river is going to go up 3 feet overnight and probably 2 feet during the day tomorrow.
Nice.
Like she's going up,
which is gonna be super interesting because like there's backwaters that you can't hardly get into today, right? That you will be able to get in tomorrow, and then even more by the end of the week. Like so, literally, like you think of that stuff that like Kevin Short was fishing cypress trees when he won that tournament. You know, I don't think you could get there by boat right now. Like, well, maybe now, but you couldn't in practice, right? Like,
yeah, it's barely even come up so far. We have a creek in the backyard, so we've been watching it, but it wasn't really coming up that much during the day. But I'm sure overnight we'll wake up and look down at it and be like, oh, the water's 2 feet higher.
It'll be interesting to how it comes up, right? Because like Waterloo is 2/3 of the way down the river, or at least halfway, if not 2/3.
We're down where it's more wide,
right? And so it might take longer for it to come up down there.
Yeah.
Whereas like up at the top, it might come up much quicker.
Yeah.
Like up by 7 Mile and up by the dam and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, if you want to know, like from what I've heard, I think 7 Mile and I think 7 Mile is going to be a really big player. I don't know if that's where these guys are going, but that's kind of the talk.
Sure. Well, that's 7 Mile means smallies. Honestly, mostly. I mean, there's spots in largemouth, but there's a lot of smallies up. Well, I guess it depends on what part of 7 Mile. If we're talking about the top of 7 Mile or the top of 7 Mile is like
all around it, but like
the bottom of 7 Mile is more largemouth land. But
yeah, and that's the thing, man. The water's so low and it's been low for so long. There's fish in places they shouldn't be. So it's gonna be, and then now it's gonna go up. So once again, it's gonna be weird, but like Kroger, like that'll play. Always will.
For sure.
But yeah, and then the tail race has been weird because those guys were up there and it's like, I'm sure from being up there, like you kind of maneuver around and nobody's catching anything. And then all of a sudden someone catches one and you're like, are they doing something different? Are they on a good spot? Or it's such a weird phenomenon.
Yeah. That'd be interesting though, because like the lower end, like down past Waterloo, I feel like the water levels will be easier to adjust because that's more like creeks and like it'll just go up on the bank a little bit. Like it won't but when you get up by like Kroger and 7 Mile in that area, there's like a giant backwater in the middle of 7 Mile Island that was probably darn near dry during practice. That's going to have 2 feet of water in it tomorrow, and by the end of practice, it's going to have 4 feet of water in it. You know what I mean? So like that could be really crazy on how that unfolds. I don't know if you paid attention, like the tail race, once you get out in the boat, is nothing like you'd expect it. Like it's super subtle, not a lot going on. You know what I mean? Like when you side image it and graph it, like you just like, I don't know, when you watch it on video, you just you expect to see like, oh, there's going to be like these very obvious boulders. They're going to create these current seams, but it's like really subtle stuff. And I don't know, it's really interesting. It was nothing like what I expected when I graphed it. I mean, it's all hard bottom, but it's not what I thought it was going to be when I started looking around at it.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the thing is like, as that current, you could find those tail race fish now, but if the current comes up and the water comes up, those current seams are going to constantly move, and then fish will constantly move. So
yeah, the tail race can be a local favorite deal, I think.
Or somebody that really understands current, like somebody like Zeb said, like a Brian Schmidt, or somebody that's got a ton of river experience that really understands, current and seams and how they adjust and how they move. So
yeah, for sure.
Cool. So what does a day one of the tournament look like for you? What is your plan? Are you out in the boat? Are you sleeping in and editing? Are you taking pictures on the docks? Like what's your agenda? What does your itinerary look like on a tournament day?
So my agenda tomorrow will be wake up at, I don't know, probably 4:35 ish, and then I'll drive my own truck up to the launch. I normally follow Matt Arey. Scott and McCoy are normally a little bit behind. So I go up there, then I'll shoot pictures of Arey launching, Hank Cherry, and Austin Felix. And then I'll go probably grab a camera from McCoy, shoot some stuff for McCoy in the morning. And then tournament mornings go fast, man, because you don't have a lot of light. Right. And it just doesn't happen very quickly. So then all of a sudden it's like, boom, done. Like literally done. It's like 30 minutes to an hour that you just got to get everything done. And then we all kind of look at each other and go, okay, cool, let's go home. And then we all just drive back here, sit down, and we would just watch Bass Live and hang out. And then at weigh-in, we head in and go film weigh-in. Then we come back and do the same thing all over again. Honestly, so they're almost even a little more chill.
So you don't go out on the water much in tournaments or do anything filming on the water?
No, not really. We might eventually, like if Scott's doing really good, but like now that he's not in the opens, like with Bass Live, there's a camera on him. So it's like, it's also like, is it really needed? Because Scott's content is so good with a GoPro. Mm-hmm. Whereas Brandon has a secondary cameraman, right? Secondary shooter, and he still runs a GoPro, but like that's his style. That's not necessarily Scott's style. So it's, do you want to do that or not? Like if I had my boat conveniently there, we'll go do it. And I actually was going to have my boat at this event, but I totally screwed up the planning of when it was going to be. So my boat's not done yet. So I get to drive home this weekend and grab it and drive it right back down to Alabama.
Good times.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, a good segue. I think we've covered Pickwick. We can circle back on that. But so the other thing you got going on this year, you're fishing the opens. Is it just the centrals? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm just fishing the centrals and then the ABT 100 circuit. So those are my out of town things.
We'll talk about the ABT. We're talking about the Central Opens.
Oh, okay. Central Opens first.
That's good. So Pickwick, that's the first one, right?
No, Smith.
Sorry, Smith Lake. Yeah,
yep,
right.
Smith in 2 weeks. And I just made like a $700 tackle warehouse order, so I'm definitely going to win it.
For sure. But it won't, and if you win it, it won't be anything you bought in that.
No, 100%. I already eliminated so many baits that.
So for the people that are fishing the open, what should they not throw because you've already bought it and they can just cross that off their list?
Yeah, so I'm going to definitely be throwing Senkos. So you might as well just not even throw them. 5-inch Senko, you don't need to throw that at Smith at all. And then I've also bought some wake baits, but I'm not going to say what kind because apparently I'm not supposed to.
Okay, sneaky stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never even thrown a wake bait, so I don't really know. Well, I've thrown a wake bait, just not a lot. You don't really do that much in Minnesota. So
I think I've thrown a wake, but I don't know if I've caught a fish on a wake bait.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to throw it a ton in practice just because it's going to be really cool to watch. That's basically what I think of it.
Yeah. So you went and looked at Smith, right, a couple months ago, just to get a look at the lake?
Yeah, on my way back from Alabama one time, I dumped in and drove around it for 2-3 hours. And honestly, what's kind of nice is where I think I'm going to end up spending a lot of the time from kind of watching the FLW event and talking to a few different people who know the lake more, just getting a better understanding about it. I think I drove around where I'm going to end up fishing, which is good because like I've already kind of seen it. I know how it lays out. I have some waypoints. I know what and I was there during winter pool. So I marked a lot of like bank that changed that you don't normally would be able to see just in case they were spawning, that I could go down and potentially fish. And yeah, I don't know. I just looked at a lot of it. It's a really cool lake, dude. It's just really different. And yeah, don't worry, Bailey. I won't cut any corners.
So that's a perfect segue. So I actually queued this thing up right here. I thought it would be fun to watch on the stream.
Yeah.
For those of us that haven't seen this, if you missed this on social media, this is how not to drive a bass boat on Smith Lake in a major tournament during blast off.
Yeah. I'll just let the clip play. Yeah.
But no matter how many times I watch it, it still blows my mind.
Yeah. No, it blows my mind every time. Yeah, I don't think Aaron Britt really likes me anymore. I don't really even know Aaron Britt, but so I don't really have a problem saying, but like that's just reckless boat driving. So anybody who's watching this, like, don't drive a boat like that. Don't try to cut people on an inside corner on a tournament takeoff with a blind corner when you have a slower boat. And always wear your kill switch, because there are 3 things you can definitely learn from this video.
Yeah, and then watch right there. He sat down. Clearly didn't. If there was a kill switch there, it didn't get reattached, and he put in gear.
Definitely didn't.
I'm still trying to figure out how he didn't get DQ'd at any point for first day, second day after posting that video. But
dude, I have no idea. I mean, he did terrible anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But
still,
I'm glad he's okay, because I never want anything bad.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm glad that nobody got hurt. But like,
yeah, but like, you look at this and like yeah,
reckless
obviously,
driving.
Aaron could have gotten hurt right here by his dumb boat driving and not correcting and driving with one hand on the wheel at a tournament takeoff and just being dumb. But like, a lot more people could have gotten hurt if he got ejected right here.
Or if he had a marshal.
Yeah, or he had a marshal and he got ejected right there, and that kill switch didn't get pulled because he definitely wasn't wearing it.
And he said he takes it off right here, like right here, but I don't know how you possibly take that off.
No.
But A, the engine is still running, and he's now standing on the deck.
Which is illegal.
Which is illegal. And then he sits back down and puts it in gear and clearly doesn't reach to put a kill switch back on.
Yeah.
So, and I remember like Jason Johnson got DQ'd from a tournament on Kentucky Lake. I think it was Jason Johnson as a co, because he made one cast with 1 foot on the front of a deck from his boater's GoPro. So like, if he could get DQ'd for that, how does he not get DQ'd for this? That's what blows my mind.
I have no clue. We have another big storm rolling through right now.
Nice. So I have plans to make a reaction video to that this week, I think, because like,
I would.
There's
Florence
so much to talk about.
Decimated, but we're okay over here.
Probably already passed.
We were getting a ton of rain, but yeah, Florence is getting crushed again.
Yeah, I agree, Doug. I probably wouldn't have posted that, but he's already taken it down. But once you post to the internet, it lives there forever. So
yeah, no, I mean, he did it for the views. It's pretty
and a little more backlash than he expected.
Yeah.
But I don't think Aaron Britt doesn't like a lot of people, but I also think there's quite a few people that don't care for him a lot. So
yeah, I have no clue. I don't know the guy. I just called it like I saw it when I saw the video, and I was like, hey man, glad you're okay, but like, that's super reckless boat driving.
Yeah.
And he was not a fan of that comment, but I wasn't the only one who made it.
No, I think you're on the majority opinion there. So
yeah.
So there's your Smith Lake preview.
No, I'm gonna do my best to avoid that point. Don't worry.
And if you do, you wouldn't post it.
I wouldn't post that one. There'd just be a picture of my hull ripped off after, and be like, "Oh, bad day on Smith, wrecked the boat."
Yeah,
wouldn't post a video though.
So in your practice for Smith, are you focusing on spots? Are you focusing on largies? Even split? Like, what is your? I mean, like, obviously,
I'm probably going to fish spots.
Okay.
I have no idea how to fish spots, but that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I figure if my whole tournament sucks spot fishing, I'll just grab a swim jig and a Senko and go as far back some creek as I can and just start fishing.
Just go down cocks on it.
Yeah, like the thing from what I've seen, like one of what John did and talking to some other people, like there is a lot of largemouth in Smith. That's kind of a misnomer that there isn't. But from what I've heard is a lot of the area you target them, there just isn't a lot of it. Right. And this is a sold out open, like 225, 250 boats, right? like those fish are gonna get crushed. Like I'm not even gonna go try it. Like so they're gonna get like even the guys who are like I'm gonna go try it for an hour, they're gonna set the hook on 2 or 3 of them. Like it's just gonna get hurt. So I might go scope it out, but I'm definitely not gonna cast. Like I said, I'm probably gonna spend most of my time fishing spots, and that's from just doing research and talking to Arey and Hank Cherry and Justin Lucas and a few different guys just kind of about what they would do and what they look for. So,
yeah. And I think, right, but the FLW, what are they 150 boats, maybe a little less?
That tour event?
Yeah.
I think it was like 160.
Yeah, it's right around 150, but you're going to have 250 in the open, right?
Yeah. And Coes. And Coes. There's no Coes in that FLW. Like,
so you're almost
there's limited practice there. Now you're talking guys who are going to go there for a week and just jack them. So
and then they saw John Cox win it on largemouth, so that's going to.
And that's the other reason I'm not going to do it. Yeah, because like apparently you can catch them in other places too. So I'm going to go look for some of those off the wall places where I might only get 1 or 2 bites, and that's kind of the type of fisherman I am. I'm not a numbers guy. I'm a 5 bite guy. So I'm going to go look more for the bigger fish. And I mean, for me, the opens is obviously I want to qualify for the elites. That'd be super sick. This is my first year doing it. I'm lucky enough to have sponsors kind of helping me get there and putting out video content for everybody to see. And like, this is part of my journey. And like, I'm not going to go there and just like fish for a check. I'm only fishing 3 of them. Like I'm going to try to win every one of them. So I've already made that up in my mind. I don't care if I have a bad practice. I don't care how it goes. Like I'm trying to make a classic and I'm going to try to triple qualify. I'm going to try to make a classic in every one I fish. So that's just the way I'm looking at it. Like, luckily, you know, with the way my work's set up, and I've been lucky to have a really good first year doing this, I don't have to worry about going and fishing the opens and being like, I need a check today. Granted, like a check would be awesome and I'd really like it, but that's never going to be my mentality in these events. I'm going to swing for the fences in each one of them and maybe finish 200th in every event, but I'll learn. So it's whatever.
So if you get a check, you can get Supreme tacos instead of regular tacos on the way home.
Yeah, I always get the Supremes. So
just living large.
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe you could ask them nicely not to crush your tacos.
That was a major bummer. I was really disappointed by that. I haven't had one of those experiences in a long time, and I finally got food. And like what people don't understand is, so like when I got home from Knoxville, I filmed an ice fishing championship, and then I had to do a couple clam things quick that first week of March. And then like when Wednesday hit, I basically locked myself in my house editing. And then Sam came over and just edited for a week and a half, 2 weeks straight, like literally did not leave my house. And then all of a sudden, like one of the nights, McCoy's having a live stream. And he's like, yeah, when are you coming down? And I was like, oh, yeah, you know, in a week and a half. And he's like, well, that's after the event, so that's not going to work. So I ended up figuring out I had to leave in a few days. So, like, my whole schedule and everything coming down here was such a mad scramble, 100% my own fault in terms of planning. So, like, that morning when I left and everything, like, I was just scrambling to get down here, drove the whole way in one shot, literally made 2 stops. And yeah, I got those tacos and like that was going to be the highlight of my day. And then I opened them and they were smashed everywhere. And it was just a long few weeks, man. But yeah, that just, I don't know, it happens.
Nice. So speaking of editing, what were we editing for?
Oh, I was editing the one. So I've actually been working on it for since we shot it, basically, but more of just finalizing it. So yeah, filmed this series with Sobi back in the middle of October in Minnesota. If you guys remember in Minnesota when we had that random freak like 1 week where it snowed like 15 to 20 inches across the state and it was just cold as balls and it sucked. That was the week we filmed it. So, yeah, I've been editing that for a long time. And then, yeah, when I got back, it's just been literally edit for that.
So, quick question from Bailey here. Do you ever plan on catching a big fish in the one series?
Yeah, like episodes 4 through 7 is Bart Clinic Fest.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah. The next, I'm telling you, like the next episodes are really good, like really good. But yeah, like the next one, like was one of the best days I've had on the water in probably the last like 5 years.
Nice. I actually enjoyed season 3 or chapter 3, episode 3.
I didn't. Dude, that was so brutal. You don't like learning so much about new bodies of water. Like it's and last year, like we were really busy all year and you don't really get a lot of time to like, we don't practice on these lakes. Like if I happen to go down there for fun, I went there for fun, but like, I know where the big ones, I know the lakes that have the big ones. So like the one lake we went to, like that I call Land of the Giants. I've been to a lot and like, dude, I've caught 23 plus pounds there every time I've been there. I've caught a 5.5 or bigger every time I've been there. Never haven't. But I'd never been there that late when the water's in the 50s. But like looking at the lake and the way it sets up, it's a lot of wood, offshore brush, or like really shallow grass, right? So I was like, should be amazing when the water's 50 degrees. Nope, definitely not.
Problem was it was already in the 40s by then.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it was terrible. And I actually went back a week after because I was so mad that we didn't catch them, and I got skunked again. So, yeah, that I don't know what is with that lake and way late, but they just, I don't know where they go. I think that
lake got really feast or famine late in the year, from what I understand. So,
yeah. I don't even think it's feast. I don't even think it's feast, man. I think
it was mostly famine late in the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the premise, right, is to catch a 7-pounder. So you're doing everything you can to catch either a 7-pound largemouth or 7-pound smallie in Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, preferably both, to be honest. Would like to get one of each, but yeah.
And this is season 2, so there was a season 1, which season 1 was close but no cigar, right? There was a 6. You got a 6 and change.
I got a 656 in season 1. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the biggest in the 1 series, right?
Yeah, and then I think Bankston got the 6-pound 7-ouncer smallmouth. We had 2 6.5s basically. So
it doesn't count. Banger doesn't count. He wasn't really part of it. He was just happened to be on the same lake in the same day.
I agree, but no, I think our biggest smallmouth was like 5 3/4. But like a 7-pound smallmouth is like 7-pound largemouth is hard. 7-pound smallmouth is a different world
for sure. Well, either, I mean, up where we live, they're both out of this world, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've not like, I don't know. Apparently you post on some Minnesota forums, and 7-pounders are everywhere in Minnesota. But I think I've personally held one, and it was probably 10 years ago. Sobi and I, just when we started fishing out of my Redland. Still the biggest bass I've ever seen in Minnesota, and it might have been 8.
And I've caught one, and I've put a lot of time in Minnesota.
Yeah, like it doesn't just happen.
Yeah, so in this, so last year you guys kind of like filmed them, pumped them out. This year or this season, you kind of filmed them all, and now you're running them all this spring. What's the any reason or strategy or why you guys decided to do that as a kind of a special block series, or what was the plan behind that?
There were a few different reasons. I mean, number one, obviously, viewership for open water is just better that time of year. like by the end of the year, people are pretty burnt out on open water. People are watching football. People are watching hunting. They don't really care that we're trying to catch a 7-pounder, right? People are getting ready for ice fishing. So we wanted to put it out in the spring just for that reason. And the other reason was we wanted to be able to dedicate like 7 or 8 days to literally filming everything, get home, chillax, and actually review it. Like this is the first project that me or Sam are ever done like this, where we just delayed posted everything. It's definitely come with like its challenges and like, you know, the good parts of it, like where we get back into it now and like it's fun going back through it and being like, this is what happened, and you're just learning more and doing more things. But that's kind of what the biggest part was just waiting.
Plus it's hard to get content in Minnesota this time of year because ice is getting bad. There's not open water. What water is open is still almost frozen, so it kind of works out, right? So.
Yeah, it's kind of just fill a void. So I mean, that's what we're just trying to do: fill a void for people, so that they can watch some bass content and open water content, and just get psyched for the year. So that's really what kind of the whole goal there was. But then, like I said, we wanted to put this together over like 4 or 5 months and make it like a movie for people. That was really the goal, was like make it like a Netflix series, make it like an Amazon series, like make it the most best produced content we could, and then put it out there. Because I mean, we can make really good videos turn and burn style, right? But I'd rather sit down and really go through it and like make sure we're getting the best possible content you possibly can out of it.
Mm-hmm. So how many are in this series?
Like how many videos? I don't know. I haven't finished it yet.
So even though so the best part is like you guys had like, you could have chipped away at it.
Yeah, no.
Like you could have done it, but you still waited to the last minute to like.
Yeah. No, I mean, there is part of that, but like part of the editing process for this was like, right. So I've been editing a lot of the video. Sobi kind of goes through and does final touches, fonts, certain B-roll sequences, cutting certain stuff out, whatever. But like laying the timeline down and telling the story, that's a lot of what I'm doing. And for me, like I spent 2 or 3 months literally almost watching all the GoPro footage just to find like small funny things or whatever might have happened that didn't get stopped on or whatever, because we recorded everything. Like every camera kept running. So it was a lot of process to go through and do that. So now that like I've done that, it's kind of chopping it down then. So that's basically what it is.
Sure. And then like, is there any like big disconnect? Do you find yourself going like, man, what? Because like when you turn and burn, right? Like it's easy to remember what happened last Tuesday or last Sunday or whatever. Like, did you find it difficult to be like, man, what happened on day 3 of our 7-day trip? That like, how did it go? Like,
yeah, no, I honestly remember it all. I have a pretty good memory with that stuff. Like whether it's in terms of fishing spots, lakes I've been to, where I was, like things like that, I remember really well. There's certain small things like in episode 3 when like Brock basically broke his ribs setting a hook on a log. I forgot about that, and I almost spit my coffee out when I was going through that clip, and I refound it. So that was really funny. But most of it I know, and like I remember where it is, and that's why now like it's easy for me to put it all together. And it's more of the reason I don't know how long it'll be yet is just because it's more of just seeing how the story morphed, and also like where Sobi wanted to cut each day off. Like that was a big part of like episode 1 was like, that was only 3 hours of fishing. We could have well have put the beginning part of episode 2 into the end of episode 1. And like, you know, it's just figuring out that flow and making sure it flows. So I think it'll end up being probably 7, maybe 6, maybe 8, but probably 7 videos.
Nice. So do you recommend everybody watch them as they come out, or just wait and binge them like Netflix when they're done?
I'd rather everybody watches them as they come out. I mean, you can always go back and binge them, but watch them as they come out.
So best watch them as they come out and then binge them again.
Yeah, obviously. But no, here's the thing. If you haven't watched them yet, binge the first 3 and then watch them as they come out from episode 4 on. Like I'm telling you guys, episode 4 on is some of the most fun I've had fishing. And like, dude, the conditions sucked. Like it legitimately snowed 10 inches on us one day. Like I couldn't find rods on the front deck of my boat. My boat, like I have a 20-foot, 20-foot Triton, 250 horse motor. Like my boat routinely does 69, 70. And going off the water one day, I could only get it up to 56. There was so much snow and ice and just crap just on it. And like, I feel so bad for what my boat is about to go through the rest of this series that you guys will see. It was so bad.
Nice.
It was brutal, but it's a really good film and you guys will like it a lot.
Yeah. YouTube's cause I don't know if you saw it, I pulled it up. It's actually on Sobi's channel, SOBI. That's where it's all at. You can watch season 1 from last year, and then actually it's almost 2 years ago now, honestly. Right?
Yeah, it's a year and a half ago now.
Yeah. But yeah, SOBI, Sobi, or just, that's probably search Sobi, you'll see them. That's probably the best way to do it. I'll put a link down in the description after this video. But it's good stuff. These guys know what they're doing. I probably can catch more fish than these guys, but these guys are way better at making videos than I am.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Could have very much used the veteran Rich out there. The first 3, or actually episodes 2 and 3 were pretty brutal.
I feel like wasn't that about the same time I went out and busted that big one?
We texted you when we were filming it. You caught a 6.5 on one of the lakes I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
We didn't end up going there, but
yeah. Sobi literally called me and he's like,
that was the day. That was the day we zeroed. That was literally the day.
That was episode 3.
Yeah, that was episode 3. It was that day.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it sucked, man. But you remember, it was cold as shit that day.
It was not a fun day to be fishing.
It was like 35 degrees. It was cold and windy.
It blew more than they said. It didn't get as warm as they said it was going to get. It was not a pleasant day.
It was so cold.
Sycamore asked a good question. Like, how much labor goes into a 30-minute fishing video for you?
No, which series?
Just roughly. I mean,
so that honestly, it's tough because like if it really goes by video, and I know that's like a really big cop-out answer, right? But like episode 3, right, where like we caught however many fish, that video took me 4 days to edit. Legitimately took me 30 to 40 hours. But like episode 4 you're going to see come out, that took me 10.
Yeah.
Like, so it really varies based on like what you have. And it's not necessarily like I need to stretch it or whatever. Like I want to make it epic, but like episode 4 coming out, like, dude, we freaking blasted them. So
the story
you just go through and the story tells itself. The B-roll is all there. Like, it's perfect.
We don't need to have like 6 minutes of Bart's food critiques to make a video.
Yeah, no, we don't got to go through me eating tons of Casey's.
But at minimum, mostly like you're going to spend a day filming and a day editing. Like that's like the bare minimum. Like
I always say for me, like if I'm going to put out a good video, whether it's the one or the Crappie Chronicles, or anything I've done, there's one day, like the first day of editing, is like there's one day of like 15 to 16 hours, right? Like dead straight where I just go ham. And then there's like a second day of probably 6 to 8 hours of like fine tuning or like combing back through it and getting everything really dialed. That's generally about how much it is.
And I spend about half that much time editing and it kind of shows. So
yeah. Hey, some people love those kind of videos. So it just
every once I see somebody on Sobi's videos and be like, get rid of all this fancy stuff. Just show me some GoPro and some fish catches.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like 3 or 4 years ago, everybody got sick of the dang chesty and the console shot and everything. Everybody wanted the A7 drone high production and it's starting to go back. So like if you want to get into it, just hop into it, grab a GoPro and go. You're kind of a testament to that.
Yeah, I try to I'm always running 2 cameras to try to get multiple angles and try to take at least that fishing to like that next level. But yeah, I'm still like, this is my B-roll camera. This is my big camera. This is my vlogging camera.
Phones are the way to do it. They're so good now.
You got one fan of the food reviews, so that's cool.
I appreciate you.
Panger did catch some stuff through the ice. So if you go back and watch the first 2 episodes of the Crappie Chronicles.
Yeah, he was in episode 2 and 4. He was there for day 3. It's just me and Panger did not catch them. But yeah, the episodes 2 through 4, he caught a bunch. Episode 2, like, dude, we smashed him. Like, him and I probably caught 50 to 60 fish a piece through the ice that day. Like, we crushed them.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Chris. We love the support. Speaking of this, Hayden, like, I want an official invite, like, when they're biting. Just throwing that out there. Little Arsenal compilation, collaboration. I need to get up there for some big smallies.
Yeah, Hayden fishes in the dumb cold, though. Like,
I'm game. I have ice fishing clothes. I just don't like the ice.
Hayden's legit. I mean, obviously he's my tournament partner. Hayden's taught me more about smallmouth fishing than any YouTube videos or anybody else out there could. So Hayden's a very naturally gifted smallmouth angler. So definitely go with him.
Yeah,
and yeah, he fishes until his trolling motor freezes locked down.
Until waves are freezing on the front of the boat.
Yeah, no. Normally, his last outing every year, he has to go through a car wash and spray his trolling motor so that he can actually put it back.
Yeah, Sycamore, they catch some good crappies, but they're not like down south big crappies. So. But they're big Minnesota crappies.
Me, Panger, Waldo, and Griff all talked about this. Minnesota has probably more like top end big crappies than down south. They just have a ton. Like their medium average, instead of like the Twin Cities where our medium average is 9 to 11, theirs is 14 to 16. But like, you very rarely see an over 16. Like we were talking to Panger about it because he goes trophy crappie hunting.
But their 16 inchers weigh 2.5 pounds.
Yeah, but like that one Waldo caught was a 3.25 and 3.25 pound crappie.
Yeah, I'll send you. It was
probably 16.
I'll send you some of my dad's buckets from Falcon.
Oh yeah, I mean they're just built a little different, but you get what I'm saying. Like Minnesota's like you see 18s coming out of Minnesota in the winter. And a lot of those are 3.5 to 4 pound fish because of the lakes they're coming from.
Yeah. So I'd be remiss if I forget to thank Arsenal Fishing for supporting the show. So just want to make sure we shout those guys out. And remember, I've got codes for Arsenal and Omni and a few other places down in the description below. So don't forget to patronize those places and support the show and help yourself and help me. So just want to make sure we don't forget to mention that.
Yeah, no, I love Dan. Arsenal's great. They made my jersey too. So if you need jerseys, Arsenal Customs.
So we'll see those because you're actually going to do some videos of your. Sorry, is there a video coming out from your first? So all right, so you're fishing the ABT 100s as well, which is a top team trail in Alabama.
Yeah,
you had one of those. Is there a video coming out from that?
Yeah. I've just been really backlogged. A lot of content coming out from my end lately, man. So that one's kind of got put on the back burner, but I'm hoping to edit it once I get home. Like I think I'll be caught up basically on everything Monday when I get home. So then it'll kind of be probably chillax for a day or two, hang out with the girlfriend, and then get all the rods rigged and stuff like that. And then probably edit those 2 videos and get them ready to go out so that after the opens, I can start putting out all the open stuff because you're going to see all that. So.
Yeah, cool. So we'll see your Arsenal Customs jerseys in these videos and the opens and the tours. What's up, Chad? Is the FLW going to Dale Hollow? Is that right? Or sorry, the Pro Circuit? I think.
I have no clue.
Is that what he's talking about? I think Dale Hollow is going to be really. I've heard really good things about Dale Hollow. So
I've heard it's like the next.
It's like emerging.
Like it's very good
on the way up. So I would expect good things this spring. I don't know a lot about it, but I've heard good things. So yeah, I actually think Rod Hellman's new camera angle is pretty cool. I don't know. It seems like it sticks out a little more than I like, but he's
I
got
haven't seen it. Where is it?
He's got a bracket or an arm that comes off his trolling motor. So when it stows, it lays parallel to the gunnel. And then when it goes out, it sticks out like 3 feet in front of the boat with the GoPro shooting up at him. So it's like the console mount, but out in front of the boat staring at you. So instead of staring at his ass or the back of his jersey all day, it's staring at his front from a low point of view.
I mean, it's fine. It's going to be a giant pain when you get in some big waves or either big waves or fishing around docks or fishing around.
I haven't seen if he's put out his. I'm sure he has put out his Florida video. I should go back and watch it to see what it looks like in the actual tournament video.
I mean, the reason the console one is so good, right? You can go to the front and everything, but like think of like the number one thing that makes a video good, right, is camera stability. One of the number one things, camera stability, stable angles. If you have it on the front there, like, yeah, it's cool. You're getting a good angle, but ultimately, like, you get any waves and you're bouncing up and down, your camera's just going to be going like this the whole time. Like, people are going to get nauseated watching that.
Yeah.
That's why the console is so good, because like when a boat goes up and down, that one area stays pretty the same. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely not it's an alternate camera. It can't be your primary.
Yeah, no, definitely. But like, it's a cool angle for like, depending on what you're doing, for sure.
To mix it up and get some extra stuff in there, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think with the newer GoPros, like the 9s with their stabilization, it might actually work pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Matt Welcher's impressed that you came to fish the ABT 100s, and you were like one bite away from a check, right? You finished like 30 something.
Yeah, no, and you'll see in the video, like we were one dumb decision away from having a check. Like we had a check basically mailed and delivered, and we left it. Yeah, you'll see in the video, like I can talk about it a bit now. It's been like 3 or 4 months, so I don't really care. But we were on Lay Lake. It was like, dude, it was like a high of like 40 degrees every day. It was cold. Water temps dropped from like 51 down to 46. So when we just ended up going spots fishing mainly. I found a really big school of them up the Coosa River, probably 15, 20 miles. Got there at around 11 to noon. We started doubling up. Like, we were catching so many fish, man. And we called up with 2-pounders like twice on this spot. And we ended up leaving because we thought we were going to need 15 to get a check. Ended up weighing like upper 10s, maybe low 11s. Last check at 20th was like 12 pounds. Like, we did the math. Like, we had a 3.25 pound spot. If we would have gotten all 2.25s, like we would have finished in like the top 15. It was just a dumb decision of us not believing we knew what was going on when we did. Or like, we were just thinking like, oh, we suck. We're from Minnesota. And like, I just think that's something you learn on the road. Like, just never think like that. Like, believe the lake's fishing like you think it is. Sure. Otherwise, you're just going to end up making a dumb decision like we did, and could have very well came home with like $1,500 to $2,000. And it's a dumb decision.
Live and learn. Yeah, you can go to Facebook, and I think this past week there's a relationship status update on.
Oh, yeah, Dad. Yes, I have a girlfriend now. Somehow that happened in my like 2 weeks back home, in between events.
It must have been the 1 series, right?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Promotion for the 1.
All right. Well, let's make it happen, Hayden. This is a good question. Best GoPro mic without dropping a hundo.
Don't use a GoPro mic. Wear a chesty.
I was gonna say my take is wear the damn chesty. Like, you get
unvisible audio you can have. Even your chest automatically blocks wind. Like, it's guaranteed.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Like, even if you don't take a single bit of footage from the chesty, it's normally 90% really good audio.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you're a natural windscreen. The other thing is, you don't realize when you talk, all your sound comes from your diaphragm, and your chesty's sitting right there. So it just gets it.
Like, when I use external mics on my A7 for people, like, I never have that sitting out here, right? Like, when I filmed Pekegama for the Champions Tour, it was blowing 40 that day. Sustained, never had an issue. it's all clipped right in here because that's where all your voice comes from, right there. So it just grabs it. So yeah, chesty by far, chesty.
Even your well,
you're using a GoPro 5.
Is it because your coat is it? Yeah, and if your coat's rubbing on it, that can be a thing, right?
Like you're using a GoPro 5 or you're using a waterproof case. Stop using a waterproof case.
Yeah, just get the frame.
And also don't take the door off. If you have a door, like sometimes some of the GoPros, if you take the door off, like that's one of the audio inputs. Just research it quick. Like the best audios are on GoPro 4s or 7, 8, 9s are really good.
Yeah, my 5 has got terrible audio.
Yeah, 5s are awful. Like by far the worst.
Like it's got a constant hum on it, and every little like touch or things like just yeah.
7s are really good though.
Yep, it's a 5. There you go, and your door is off.
Yep, that's 5. That's the worst audio you can get. There you are.
This is a good question. I don't know anybody really knows this, Nathan. We talked about it early in the show, but I don't know how to tell. Like anything is possible. Probably a mix. Probably somebody mixing up. I think even when I watched one of the little videos, even Davey Height, when he won at the tail race, he was mixing it up with stuff downriver to supplement it.
Yeah, I mean this time of year though, you can win it straight up at the tail race, especially with the conditions we got. But the one thing you will know about Pickwick tomorrow is it is going to fish very small the first 2 days, which not a lot of people would have thought, but it is going to.
Because of the low water. Well, I don't know.
Because of the low water. And there are about 3 areas that a lot of guys have been in.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Because it has the potential to spread out.
Yeah, no, it totally has. And it might tomorrow, but like that's just from what I've seen. I think it's going to fish really small tomorrow.
It'll be interesting to see if many guys run way down to like Tennessee, Mississippi almost.
Yeah, I talked to a few guys that did not do well down there. So they could.
But it's got their bigs down there. Trust me.
Oh, no, that's normally where you see like the 8 to 10 pounder is down on that end. But
yeah. And that's where the ledge stuff goes down. Is down. I mean, like right out in your front, like right out in your back window is where the ledge bite goes down.
Yeah, man. Wish I could tell you where they are right now.
Yeah, Bailey. Honestly, if you want to go cheap, get a refurbished 4.
Dude, I'll sell you a 4 for $80. Text me.
Do you think forward facing will play at Pickwick? I do think it'll play. I don't know if it'll be dominant, but it'll definitely be a factor.
I don't think it will.
I mean, people will catch them.
Wait. No, so okay, false. What will play on it is seeing grass, not the fish eating, but seeing grass.
Yeah, I mean it's not going to be dominant, but people will catch. I mean, it will be a tool that people use. Yeah,
and like I don't think you can use it up at the tail race. Like there's just way too many rough fish and just
there's drum and catfish and carp and it's nuts. Like. I don't think you missed anything juicy. You missed some basics that I don't think would surprise you, Chad.
Chad knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Top picks for Pickwick. I don't know. I mean, I think obviously you can go back and watch my fantasy video from last week. But some people to watch for, there's a lot of them, honestly. I mean, I think absolutely. What's his name? The local. Why can't I think of his name? Justin Atkins. And Buck. Yeah, like he's
going to be
really, really shocked if he's not fishing on Sunday.
He's going to be tough to beat.
But there's a lot of guys to watch: Hackney, Christie, Walters, Scott. I mean, Canterbury. I think could be good. I'll
give you one name that I don't know how he's going to do, but he's a local that nobody has talked about. And I didn't know he was a local until I was hanging out with the guy he's rooming with.
Clint?
Brock Mosley.
Sure. Yeah, he's actually
Mississippi
he's
side.
The West End. He's a West End Pickwick local. He lives right on the border. Yeah.
Doesn't have Alabama on his name, so people forget about it, but I'd watch out for him.
So if there's a guy that's going to make that big run to the lower end and make something happen down in that Bear Creek and all those areas down there, he could be sneaky good down there.
Could be. I mean, he could fish the whole lake. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. But like he
has a lot of experience there.
That's what I'm saying. He's got that knowledge that like there could be a lot of guys that went down there and spent half a day and didn't figure it out down there. If he goes down there, he's going to know exactly what he's fishing down there.
Yeah. But him, I mean, like you said, Atkins is number one. I think Fighter, like just seeing how it laid out, I think Fighter would be a really good pick too.
They are not allowed to lock.
If they could, they all would. I'll tell you that much.
They all would?
A lot of them. The smallmouth bite's outrageous on Wilson right now.
Yeah, I mean, if guys wanted to fish for big browns, they would go up to Wilson. But guys that are focusing on green wouldn't leave Pickwick, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think you could win on green and Wilson. You can win on green and Pickwick.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them would lock up this time of year.
Yeah, I actually disagree, Michael. In ledge season, Pickwick fish is really small. Other times of the year, Pickwick can fish very big.
Yeah, this time of year, it should fish really big. It's just, dude, the water's 6 feet low. Like, there's no water. Like, there's nowhere for them to go. It's a main river shoot. That's all it's been, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, Buddy Gross. Yeah, that's another good one. I wouldn't surprised to see Brandon Lester be good. Yeah, if the water comes up a little bit, I could see Todd doing well. Like if he can get someplace where he can throw a chatterbait. Let's see here. So Chad wants to know what's it like filming for Scotty.
Dude, filming for Scott's awesome. I mean, it's really nice filming for a guy who knows exactly what he wants. So, like, when you point a camera at him, he's just golden. Like, it's, some stuff you do, like, with the Champions Tour, for example, right? Like, 50% of those guys are used to a camera, 50% aren't. Like, if I point a camera at Scott, it's go. And then if he says something he doesn't like, he just looks at you. He's like, I'm restarting. Like, you never have to tell him anything. Yeah. So, it's really easy. Really good. Great guy, knows what he's doing. So yeah, I mean, zero complaints. He just knows exactly what he wants. And I think a lot of guys might look at it and be like, oh, he works his cameraman so hard or whatever. Like, I don't know, dude. Like a lot of those guys have never seen a cameraman or a YouTube cameraman work. Like in my opinion, like when I helped with some of the Guggen stuff with like Sobi and everything, like those guys work not way harder, but like different level in terms of not sleeping and like go, like no sleep type stuff. Scott's definitely a little more efficient and like TV about it, I'd say. But like, yeah, it's great. Like knows exactly what he wants. So you never have to worry about it. Like, dude, I started taking pictures of him. He gives me like 5 different poses, all within 5 seconds. Good. Got every angle I needed. Can just leave. It's efficient.
Nice. Yeah. And I think Scott made a little cameo, so you have to scroll back and rewatch and then Scott made an appearance on the stream. So check that out, Chad. The weather, it's rainy, Arey for the win.
Yeah, I think it just passed actually. Like I think we might be good now. Like it was I don't know if you heard, but it was loud here. Like it was oof, we're in a flash flood warning right now. Yeah, it just passed us, dude. We're out of it now. We made it.
Your internet was better when it was raining.
Really?
Yeah, you're getting choppy again. You were really good for a long time. How does it set up for Walters? Good. Like I feel like every tournament sets up good for Walters though. So yeah, I don't know. Dude, he's just on fire. Like you can't really say it doesn't. We are partying. We're getting close to the end. We're about an hour and a half in. St. Patrick's Day. Is there a big St. Patty's Day vibe in the Elite House tonight?
No, we've all been locked up trying to not get blown away by a tornado.
Nice.
I wish.
So like Matt Arey's not making green beer for everybody and like nothing like that.
No, I should actually ask Arey if he's got an IPA. I'm going to text him quick, actually. See if he's got an IPA.
Better yet, has anybody ate Matt Arey's ring pops?
No, actually, they've been left alone. I'm actually really surprised.
Yeah, Hackney. I don't know. Hackney's definitely had fast starts in the past and done well and not made the classic at times. But I just feel like there's something about this year that he's just on an influential season. I don't know. That's the vibe I get. I feel like he's going to be a monster this year.
Dude, he's on fire. The one thing I'll say about Hackney, like this is like total like fan side of seeing it, is oh my god, Arey's mad at me. But so Greg Hackney, first time I met him, right? Super nice guy, great guy, like really awesome guy. But the first thing I remembered when I met him was, man, you are a lot thinner and shorter in person than I thought you were. And he has got the biggest dome, like physically, like biggest head that I have ever seen on a human being. His head is just enormous.
He needs to join the Visor gang.
Thanks, boss.
Did you have it locked?
I had it because Scott and McCoy were trying to mess with me.
I mean, really? You could have just walked the laptop.
Yeah, I didn't know if people were out here. You want to say hi to Rich? You want to tell him how great Pickwick is?
No, not fishing. Howdy.
What's up, Matt?
How you doing?
You're my pick tomorrow, so don't let me down. No pressure.
No, Adam didn't tell you I'm a practice one, apparently.
Well, that's good. Everybody knows bad practice means a good tournament.
That's very true. I told my wife tonight on the phone. I said I've had some of the best tournaments during worst practices I've ever had, and vice versa. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a different light tomorrow, regardless. So it might be a blessing in disguise, might not be, but it's rising very fast.
You won't be locked in, and you still got all your ring pops, right? So
I don't have all my ring pops because these kids are. I had to hide a few of them. Let's put it that way. I got a secret stash in my room that. I need to show y'all something. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right.
What is he grabbing? Oh no! All right, so I'll just show you, I guess. So this is the crib.
All right.
This is McCoy's whole editing center.
This is the SMC crib style.
So Scott's still out in the garage, and y'all cannot say anything to anybody about this.
Move on.
What I have here is a crock pot with a whole roll of boom booms in it. And that will be his wake-up call very soon. And if anybody watched his YouTube video from where'd y'all prank me?
I didn't prank you.
Well, it wasn't even Scott that pranked me. But
was this the hot sauce in your cracker bit you're talking about?
Thank you. All I can say is payback is you can finish the sentence.
So is this payback going to be on a future Scott Martin video?
Oh, it will hands down be filmed. I can promise you. I don't know if it'll make the video, but because I don't make that call, but I can promise you it will be filmed.
All right. Thanks for the inside scoop, Matt.
Yeah, buddy.
So yeah, there's always stuff going on here.
Shenanigans all around.
Yeah, Arey wasn't very happy with the hot sauce prank, if you couldn't tell.
It definitely showed through.
Part of that one at all. I actually told him they tried to get him like 2 or 3 more times, and I tipped him off.
I don't think he was as pissed about the hot sauce as the thought that you guys actually ate all the crackers, which what he was ticked about, I think.
Oh no, dude, he was really mad about that because he thought I did because I crushed a like good amount of them quick, but yeah.
Nice. All right. So what else you got? We talked a little bit. So you opens, you got Smith, and then you have, what are the other 2 events coming up?
Pickwick and
then Grand, right?
Yeah. So then Pickwick end of April, and then Grand in the middle of October. So it'll be a little different. I'm actually really excited to get here in a month or month and a half.
Yeah.
Like seeing the way it is now, the water temps are like, dude, that open is gonna be wide open.
Yeah,
like
it's gonna fish big then for sure.
Yeah, like there's gonna be fish. Like I think I'll be able to have a school on a ledge, a school maybe not pre-spawn anymore, but like spawning or like shallow fish. Like you're gonna have a little bit of everything, and it's gonna be really cool like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's to be determined, Wayne. It's definitely going to get dirtier. How was the water clarity? It was pretty clean, I assume, in practice.
Yeah. I moved. Don't worry. Scott's worried. But water clarity, it was fairly clear. I don't know. It was like a Tennessee River lake.
Yeah,
It's nothing crazy. But
so I think things are going to change, but I think the current is going to make them bite.
Yeah, like it's going to get dirty, but I think what people need to understand on Pickwick compared to, I mean, most of the Tennessee River lakes, but Pickwick especially, these fish are current fish. Like they want current. The faster that current goes, the more they bite. So like, unless they're really literally swimming in mud tomorrow, they're going to freaking chew.
Yeah. So you can speak to this. I think you said you learned your lesson after Knoxville. You no longer listen to what happens in the house to affect.
Yeah, no, I don't change my picks anymore. Knoxville, I had a very good team. I would have ended up probably top 50 in the country, which really sucks. But I put in my boy Matt Arey after day one of practice because
he was getting a lot of bites.
Yeah, he got like 10, 15 bites day one. Yeah, got a lot of bites. So I was like, bro, he's getting bites. I'm putting him in. I know how Arey fishes. And then every day progressively got worse. And he kept telling me that. And I was like, nah, dude, I believe. And then day one he came in and I took a picture of him with his one fish. And I was like, oh, boy. Yeah, one fish. I took a picture of him kissing a 1.5 pounder.
Nice. Is Scott fishing in the opens? I don't think he is he?
No. Yeah, done with that. He said the one I will tell you, he said last year was by far the most stressful year he's ever had tournament fishing in his life.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be too worried about it. I don't know. I'm not changing my team.
No.
Arey's still my pick in bucket D. There's not a lot of great options.
He's good at winging it, man, and like he's going to be around them. These guys, you know, everybody has their little teams. They work together. Everybody knows that. They help each other out. They're all friends. So he'll be around fish. It's just if he catches them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as fast as things might change tomorrow, not being stuck on a preconceived notion could be a blessing in this tournament. So
yeah, I mean, like it'll be interesting. Like Arey very much can be a guy who will just go fly around and do whatever. I think Scott's going to be pretty glued from what I have seen with Scott.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't be – I mean, I think you'll see some guys that get off to fast starts, and you'll see some guys that'll take them a little while to figure out. But I think by the end of the day, most of the guys are going to catch them pretty good. I think
it's going to be a slow and steady weight improvement tournament. I don't think you're going to see anyone all of a sudden like blast 25 pounds in one spot, 5 casts in a row. It's just going to be more pluck them.
Yeah. Thoughts on Clark Wentland? I don't know. I mean, he definitely probably has seen Pickwick enough in different times of the years. I mean,
he's an old FLW guy, so he has a lot of experience on Pickwick. A lot of these guys have been to Pickwick a lot.
Different bite, but, I mean, he's a veteran. I'm sure he's going to do all right. I don't know. I don't have a strong feeling one way or the other with Clark.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, what's up, Frank Jr.? What are you doing with all your mornings? You don't got your BTL fix every morning. But yeah, I think that's the general sentiment. I think this is going to be a good tournament and probably one of the top 2 or 3 tournaments that'll go down this year as far as fun to watch as a spectator. So
this and Fork, that's what I think.
Yeah, I think Welcher. I didn't say that earlier, but he was like super close to putting him on my team. This should play right. Actually, this changing conditions in the water coming up should play right into Welcher's hands and the way he likes to fish. Is that the Chad Smith fishing?
My boy. Dude, this is a guy who's got 2 10-plussers back to back and then an 8 and like 7 post spawner. Guy's on fire. Shouldn't leave Florida.
Yeah, living in the back of the van down by the river, catching bigs.
Yeah, I'll see you at Smith. Help me catch spots, please. Thank you.
Yeah. But sounds like there'll be some limited BTL next week coming back. So it sounds like Mark's on his road to recovery. Things are going for the better, and we'll see a little bit of content. So that's good. It's
I think Panger is good. Yeah, Panger will get her going. I was talking to him today, actually, or yesterday. I don't remember.
Cool. And then so we talked about the rest of the opens. Then you got 2 more ABTs. What are those looking like? When and where?
So ABT 100, the one I'm really excited for, is it'll be the first week of June on Eufaula, Ledge City, Brush Pile City. Really excited for that event. It hasn't been fishing as well this year as it has previous years, so that's got me a little concerned, but it'll be fun. And then the last one is the 3rd week in November on Gunnersville. So basically everybody I've talked to has said you're either going to have a blast or you're not going to catch a fish. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it will depend on water level, right? If it has high water, you'll have fish lingering shallow. If it gets down to normal, then it'll be all offshore. So, So Brock wants to know, are you feeling confident about Smith?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain. I wasn't for a long time. Ever since I signed up for the Opens, I was like, all right, what am I getting myself into? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I think what following the elites has taught me more than anything, these last 3 events is, I want to say this the right way, because like these guys are obviously the best in the world. They're crazy good, right? There's not as big of a difference between them skills and mechanically and like fishing a bait wise as you would think. It is a lot of mentality, and that can be taught and that can be learned. So kind of from seeing that and decisions and stuff like that, for me, it's more turned into like going into Smith. I'm like, yeah, I can go in. Sure. Why not? Let's go do it. Rather than being like, oh man, I hope I can catch a couple spots. It's like, yeah, I can go catch fish. Like you cast at a dock, you reel a bait around it, you throw a Senko somewhere, fish bites. Like it's kind of the way I've gone around my whole life is you're chasing a bass, you're not chasing other fishermen. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm pretty confident. I'm very happy they're going to be around spawn, or like right after spawn, chasing like herring, shad spawn type ish thing.
To get yourself from methylate worms for this derby?
No.
I wasn't watching, but we like jumped way up. We like hit like 135 plus concurrent viewers on YouTube, which is like blowing. Like I think right around 100 was my record. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that Scott push.
I think it was right about when Matt jumped on. So maybe it's the area effect.
Yeah, no, it's the area. I'll tell him that. He'll like that.
Yeah, let him know. Like, hey, yeah, well, Scott came on, and then once you came on, like the views jumped by 30%.
Yeah. I'll tell him that.
To make sure Scott's listening.
What's up?
Yeah, sick.
What are we doing? I'm about to go to bed, dude. Oh yeah, I can move out of here. Do you want to go to bed?
We'll go to bed.
I got to move out of here so that Scott can go to bed.
Yeah.
He's got to catch. What are you going to catch tomorrow? Wait, what's a good day?
26 and a half.
That's
26
it?
and a half. Yeah. That's what you're going to catch.
That's the only way to get over 100 is you got to catch.
Okay.
And 20s, like high 20s. 26 and a half.
Got to get his beauty sleep. Sleep tight.
All right. See you, Scott.
See you, man.
We'll get it wrapped up here pretty quick, so it doesn't go too much longer.
No, you're good, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Sycamore. I definitely see this being. I think some guys will catch him on spinner baits tomorrow.
I don't.
No.
No. I don't know anyone who's caught one in practice.
I don't know that it's a dominant pattern, but I think fish will be caught on him.
I know Scott will be throwing 2 baits, probably 99.9% of his casts tomorrow on 8 different rods.
Nice. Several people say Gunnersville and Pickwick fish comparable. Do you agree? Some parts yes, some parts no. Like there are sections that do and sections that don't. What do you think?
The grass does. Yeah.
Yeah, like down by Kroger Island,
That's
very
like
much feels like Gunnersville.
Yeah.
Some of the lower end, but the top end, not really.
There's so many stumps in Pickwick too. I don't know if you're aware of that, but like now that the water's low, dude, there's stumps everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, did you know how many stumps you drove over in Kroger when you were fishing that before? There's hundreds. They are everywhere.
No, I bumped a few getting in and out of places, and the water wasn't even that low. I mean, it was low, but not quite this low.
There are stumps all over this lake. It is crazy.
And the other thing is, like, the river changes. Like, when you get down there, there's sections of Pickwick that have a bunch of cypress trees, and there's almost no cypress trees in Gunnersville. So
yeah, no.
So yes and no. I don't think that helped you. Hackney or Christie? I wish I could take them both.
Based on the way the bite is, I would pick. I'd pick Fighter. Dead serious.
Yeah. Well, what's up, Matt? Hey, Matt. You know what? We need to do a college fishing episode. So if you got Instagram or something, hit me up. I'd love to have you on here sometime and talk about college fishing at Auburn for one of these streams. That would be cool. We are falling behind on the chat. He's fishing as a boater in the opens.
Yeah, I'm a pro. I could never fish as a co.
Scalish just throw a big O. It's me. It could be me, David. Maybe yeah, the Welcher, the force is strong with the Welchers. Welcher was a strong on my fantasy team almost all late last year. He definitely carried me. I think we'll probably wait until to see what happens before we talk about what bait Scott's throwing.
If you know Scott Martin, you'll know one of them.
So yeah. So you talked about. Well, I already forget. You followed. Did you say what the third ABT was?
Yeah, Gunnersville.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. The whole reason I'm fishing the ABT 100s is to, like, those three lakes were Lay, Eufaula, and Gunnersville. And when I signed up for them, I hadn't really known what I was doing yet with anything. So for me, it was just get experience on three bodies of water that have had classics. A week of experience there is so big. But then I ended up fishing the opens too, and now I'm fishing Smith and Pickwick. Like, dude, I'm gonna have experience on every single Alabama lake after 1 year. Like, I don't have to come back here. I basically have residency in Alabama this year.
And what time of year is Gunnersville?
November, but I've fished it in April too. So I fished a national there 2 or 3 years ago.
Just hoping there's a frog bite in November.
That's what they're saying. They're like, you're either gonna punch or frog. I was like, cool, sounds good.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't spend all your money on OG Slims, Sean. I'm thankful that you saved and appreciate it, man. Zaldane has he's seriously eyeing on him. Atkins too. Man. For me, it's an easy pick to go Atkins. I don't know. Something
you have to take Atkins.
I love Zaldane as a fan. Something just doesn't feel right this season. Like something just, I mean, he's a great angler, but it just feels like it doesn't feel like this year is going to be like his year to be like on him. I don't know. I just get a weird vibe, kind of like Cruz last year. Just was a bad year for whatever reason. He just always zigging when he should have zagged. And I've got a bad feeling about Zaldane this year.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you just can't. You can't pull Justin Atkins.
Yeah, glad to be back, Gabe. For sure. So we talked about the one. We talked about the house. We talked about your tournaments. Anything going on else with you? Anything else you want to talk about, Bart? Anything exciting? Anything we didn't touch on?
My laptop in quick. My computer's about to die, actually.
Oh man. That's a super flattering shot, Bart.
Yep. There we go. No. So yeah, I got all that going on. I'm excited for this summer I get to spend it kind of back in Minnesota. Fishing a bunch of stuff around home, and yeah, I'm excited for a regular summer in Minnesota, man. I don't know about you. I've been really busy kind of building everything up, working really hard, and then doing my best to be kind of COVID safe the past year, and kind of with vaccines coming and everything, I'm really excited to just have a regular summer. So,
yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't go fish with people that I wanted to go fish with last spring and last summer just to be on the safe side. And so I'm excited
Well, and
to
I
do more.
didn't tournament season last year felt like 2 months in Minnesota.
Yeah,
because it was.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I do. I need a new computer really badly. McCoy has no clue how I edit. I edit on a 2016 MacBook Pro or MacBook Air. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM. So I am the most patient person in the history of the world. It's a testament to don't let your gear hold you back. You guys can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I promise you my machine is no killer machine.
Yeah.
I got a junky Dell laptop, so but cool. Yeah, I'm excited for the Minnesota season too, and like getting out Smith Mountain last week, catching a few on the mag draft and a few others on a few other things got me pumped up. So I got to get the boat fired up, get some new electronics put on here pretty quick. I think I'm definitely fishing a full circuit of the TBF team tournament on top of a bunch of other stuff. So I expect to fish more tournaments this year, a full circuit. So I'm excited.
Are you going to come fish the team trail, Rich?
I'm going to fish the TBF team trail. It just works out better for my schedule.
No, that makes sense. Come fish an event or two. Actually, we might be full.
They're almost honestly, almost all of them overlap with the TBF, except for the ones that work better for me. Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 of them that are right on top of each other. So
that happens.
Yeah, but I'm excited I haven't fished a full trail of anything in a while, so I'm excited to do that and have some points and some things to fish for. And
dude, it's just fun, like doing the traveling and hanging out with friends, and just like I love that. So I'm very excited for that, to get back into that group. I travel with Andy Nichols and Mike Nichols, so it's like me and Hayden, like 23-year-old. 27-year-old, and then Andy Nichols, and Mike's like 70 something. So it's
Mike's
like
awesome.
Mike's awesome.
He's like a freaking caddy. He like always makes sure there's beer. He makes sure the trolling motor things are tight and the boats are ready. Yep. And like he's like yeah.
We have the just most random road crew traveling together, and then Aaron Teal and Dan Vaselka will hop in sometimes, or James Chapman will hop in with whoever he's fishing with that week. So we always have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely travel, like, because I was doing the Bass Nation and the TBF stuff. I'm always usually traveling a little bit. It's just not fishing a full circuit, so I'm excited just to keep track. And I mean, I think the last time I fished a full circuit was like 2013 BFLs.
Really?
And I took 7th in the points in the BFLs. So,
nah, you'll love it, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to be fishing like 3 or 4 of them this year.
Yeah, you guys got your deposits in for Tourney Tuesday?
No, I do have to mail that in yet. But yeah, we're doing that too. So yeah, there's even more. But I'm gonna be pretty free this summer, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind like traveling. Like this road trip to North Carolina last week was like a killer because it was 21 hours over 2 days with my wife and 2 kids, which was like a whole nother level of vehicle travel. But like fishing travel is different. Like there's like you're going, you're fishing. Like I like sleep in the back of my Tahoe. I make a bed back there. Like I don't know. I eat that stuff up. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like for me, it's just part of it. So like I don't know. I think who said it to me? Someone said it to me the other day, but they said Sobi did. It was like, if you don't like road trips, you're in the wrong profession, because that's all it is. It's time behind the road. So for me, like honestly, in my opinion, like because I've driven down south so many times now for all this, and I'll continue to do it, is the first 5 hours are kind of tough, but that hour like 5 through 15 just kind of goes. It's just like, I don't know if it's like a runner's high or whatever it is, but you're kind of just cruising.
Yeah, you're just crushing XM, you're crushing podcasts, you're calling people and talking to them for an hour at a time, and like,
yeah, like you call someone and you're just like, "Hey, man, you free?" And they're like, "Oh, why?" You're like, "Oh, I'm driving through Alabama right now," and they're like, "Oh, I don't have time for that phone call right now." Or they're like, "Yeah, man, I got 2 hours."
they're like, "All right, speed down, next one." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I mapped it out. 11, 12, 13, 14 tournaments at this point is my plan, which is more than the 4, 5, or 6 I've been doing the last few years. So,
What are you most excited for? What lake in Minnesota?
let's see what's well, actually I'm pretty excited for state on Wabasha. I mean,
Dude,
that's
me
exciting.
too. I'm gonna be there.
The team trail goes out to Big Stone. I'm excited. I've never been there, but that sounds like it puts out big weight on the border of South Dakota, like
Very big bags.
Ortonville. We're fishing Vermilion in the spring. Those probably are the 3 most exciting.
Nice. I'm really excited for state. I haven't fished a state tournament before, so I'm really excited for Wabasha.
All right. Make sure you give Bart a slap on the ass for me when you see him on the team trail, Jason.
Yeah.
Wentland or Mullen? That's a tough call. I could see either one of them being pretty good.
I'd pick Wendell.
I think Wentland's the safer pick. Maybe Mullins has more upside. That's how I look at it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if you can't embrace the adventure, I mean, I don't like driving, but if it's a fishing trip, it's part of the deal and the adventure. But like just driving, I don't like. Like it's just. The trick, Sean, is to listen to a bunch of old HellaBass podcast audio, and it flies by. So.
Yeah, I just cruise. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it ever.
Yeah. Definitely get caught up on my podcast. Crush those. I don't know. I always feel like if you're not listening to something, like I'm like 8. I mean, obviously, with the tournaments, the channel, the podcast, the live streams, I'm obviously 8 up with fishing. So like I feel like if I've got that time in the car, I'll listen to a little bit of music, but I'm either going to be talking to a fishing buddy or I'm going to listen to a podcast to learn more about and like just keep like pumping that stuff in my head, like to always make myself better. Like, because if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. So
yeah, no, I'm the same way.
Yeah, he does have sloppy tacos. So what are you what's your Adobe? Is that right?
No, I'm Final Cut.
Final Cut. All right.
Yep. Sobi and I are Final Cut. McCoy is both, but mainly Premiere. Yeah. It's cool being with a guy who can do both. So if I edit something and McCoy needs to grab it, he can just hop on it. I think right now he's starting to edit are you starting to edit the practice vlog? Yeah, he's starting to edit the practice vlog right now. So that'll be out in what, 3 days? By Sunday. So that's the turnaround.
Yeah. And not me. I like the free stuff, so I edit on DaVinci Resolve.
What was the program that Kyle said that guys were going to? Is that DaVinci or was that Sony? Yeah, so Rich, I was going to tell you this at our St. John's event, I think, or maybe it was Knoxville. I don't know. We were talking to Kyle Van Dever, and he said that some pro-grade camera guys are starting to head over to DaVinci Resolve.
Well, it's known for its color grading. Which
That's exactly why.
I have no idea what color grading is hardly, and I don't use it, but that's what it's really like fundamentally built on. But it's, I mean, like if you don't want to spend the money and you want a free software, DaVinci Resolve is actually really powerful software. So
yeah, no, it's good. But yeah, that's exactly what Kyle was saying. That's why they're going there. Is color grading is phenomenal on it. And for a lot of like the top end guys, what they do, like I color grade minimally. McCoy does it a bit more than I do, but like Kyle Van Dever does it quite a bit. And like some of the really top level guys, I don't know. It just depends on your style.
Mm-hmm. I would say it's probably not as user friendly as some of the others. You definitely plan on watching a few more YouTube tutorials, but it's got everything you need, I think. So
yeah.
So as McCoy forgave you for dropping the hard drives and breaking them?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm totally the one who broke the hard drives. McCoy, you wanted to come tell them about that? Rich, HellaBass.
Everybody.
Or you want? Yeah, you should come. You should come talk to Rich about filming for Scott. Okay, he's got to dump some footage, and we'll talk to McCoy for a quick bit, and you can ask him about filming for Scott since he's been doing it for like a year now. But yeah, no, it definitely wasn't me. And the hard drive from the St. John's was not dropped. It would not load, which is very different. It's having an internal problem that is not caused by any of us. It's a system problem. But McCoy's coming over. He'll join.
So now we're investing in all solid state drives from here on out.
Yes, we are running off solid state drives right now as we speak. I'm not running into that issue again.
Yeah, I don't even remember. You did a Instagram live, and I told you got to blame the new guy. You got to blame Bart for the drives, if you remember that.
It's all Bart's fault. It's always Bart's fault.
Yeah, always.
So what's the worst part about working with Bart? That's what most people want to know.
Oh, okay, whatever.
It just breaks it. What's it like working for Scott? It's really fun. I like it a lot. It gets a little stressful sometimes, but it's a dream job in general.
Yeah,
basically. So it's just fun getting to travel and just film. It doesn't even feel like work basically at this point.
Yeah, cool. And plus, you get to drive his truck around and be. I mean, like it's a job of many hats and many skill sets, right? Like it's more than just shooting and editing video. What are some of the things that you do that maybe people don't realize?
Well, okay. In terms of driving the truck, you wait until you see this practice vlog because there's going to be for sure a segment of McCoy getting yelled at for 5 minutes or so. Jackknifing the trailer back and forth, trying to get down the Florence ramp while a severe thunderstorm's flying in, and Scott doesn't have a rain jacket on. And he panicked.
Yeah, panicked.
That's a pretty big. I mean, it's a tricky ramp because it's got like a steep like drop. So like when you're up at the top, you can't quite see what's going on, but otherwise it's pretty wide open. Although there was a guy that almost drove me off the rocks at the national championship with my boat. One of like the hired Toyota drivers almost put my boat in the riprap. So I can see it.
What was the question you asked again? I forget.
Oh, wow. Sean wants to know if you just get paid in food and Red Bulls.
No.
He gets paid in Bucky Stops.
Bucky Stops. Oh, yeah. That's my favorite place ever. Love that place.
No, so what are some? I mean, there may be some odd things that you guys end up doing besides like video editing and shooting. Is like there are other things that come with the territory that people don't realize.
I think the coolest for me was when we were in Knoxville. Like we filmed it, but like Scott told us to just go to town and go look at Knoxville, and that was really cool. We just drove around like tourists for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, it's cool just kind of traveling around and getting to see different places for the most part. There's nothing that I can really think of that we do other than film and edit.
Yeah,
it's pretty much the life.
Show up.
McCoy cooked hibachi the other night. That was pretty cool. That's probably the coolest thing you've done besides that.
That was pretty fun. Yeah.
That was a what?
Cool. We did it. Cooked hibachi on a flat iron grill.
Yeah, we got one in the back.
You got mad knife skills, McCoy, or what?
No.
You're like,
no. I tried to do the egg flip thing and it just fell right on the ground. I think you caught that on camera, right?
I did. I was filming it.
Yeah, so
nice. Chad's got a serious question. He wants to know how you guys back up all the footage. Is it drives? Is it cloud? Do you just edit and dump it? What's the process?
Basically, we put it all on the solid state drive, and then when I'm putting it off the cards onto the drive, I put it onto a whole nother hard drive, like a bigger tower drive. That's kind of just our backup drive that we have like everything on. And then once that's done, it goes away back in a box, just so there's nothing that can happen to it. Basically, can't fall off the table, something like that.
Yeah, like the St. John stuff. Like the reason that got lost was because it was getting backed up onto that backup drive overnight, and it like disconnected because the drive had a fault.
Yeah, and then I didn't really realize it. And I could never get it all over, and then the drive just basically went out.
And Chad, like cloud backup, like there's a lot of people that commented on the videos to use cloud backup after. I don't think people realize like we have like a terabyte of footage after an event. That's like not possible.
Yeah, it's more like a terabyte and a half because we're shooting all 4K at this point.
Yeah, like you can't upload
crazy.
that. That would take like 3 days.
Especially at the internet, you guys have these places you rent.
Yeah, no, like this internet here is terrible. This is by far the worst one we've had.
We're barely getting by at this point.
Oh, really? Is it?
Yeah, we're looking fine on our end.
Yeah, it's been in and out. It's not. I mean, the audio's been pretty decent, and the video's been a little bit, but it's been decent. Better than the Josh Strachner interview. That was pretty bad. So when you finish event, do you guys keep all that footage like on a master drive, or do you guys like kill it once you've like put it out?
Yeah, usually all the footage, no matter what it is, we'll keep it somewhere. Like we used to just use those the HDD drives and just run through a 4 terabyte one of those, and then just get a new one basically and start on that one. So we'll keep all the footage and stuff on the big tower drive, but I'll take it off the SSD.
Mm-hmm.
It's all done.
Sean suggests doing some hot dog fried rice with ketchup.
I don't know. He loves fried rice and hibachi now. He thinks he's the best cook this side of the Mississippi, so he'll try it tomorrow.
Is it you guys fishing?
So you guys, I mean, I know like back in the day, like there was with Brandon, there was a fair amount of fishing videos. Are we going to see like some McCoy versus Bart like challenges in the off season and that kind of stuff? Or
I mean, we could. I just dust him, so it wouldn't really be that fun.
Yeah, I'm not that good at fishing, but I love fishing. It's just I'm not.
So would you say you
No.
are better or worse than Brandon when it comes to fishing?
Oh, better. You're better than Brandon.
Probably better. I don't
Yeah,
think
he's
Brandon
better than
liked
Brandon.
fishing that much.
Yeah.
But he would.
Well, like I get this question a lot about like how are you in a boat all day and not fishing? And I think I have the answer. Like for me is like when I'm filming. Like, and I maybe not equally as much as I love fishing, but like I like filming and I like editing. So it's not that hard. Like when I'm out there fishing that day, and plus I'm learning. Like when I was around with Scott all day, like I never even thought about casting a rod or wanting to. It was so cool learning and just watching that process and filming it. So yeah, that's for me. Like I get a fish when I'm not working. So that's the way I look at it. I don't know how you look at it.
Pretty much the same way. I just enjoy the process of making a video so much that it doesn't even bother me that I'm not fishing. But when I'm going to fish, I'm going to fish. I like to fish.
Sure.
Like to go out with Hillary or something. I like to fish.
Nice. Shadow, I think your team's solid. All those guys are either my pick or my backup pick, except for Wetland. And I think Wetland is a veteran in D. You can't go wrong with that. I don't know. Is Brandon Hopper? Does he come visit you? Does he come hang around, or is he just off on his own venture now, 100%?
He actually films Scott's TV show now with us still. So he'll usually run the main camera on that. So he'll be around for that stuff and bigger projects on that end. So he's around quite a bit then.
Nice.
Just not the YouTube life.
Cool. He's too big for YouTube. He's on to TV.
Bigger and better.
Yeah.
But you could argue. I don't know how much longer TV will be bigger than YouTube, but
It barely is anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch hardly any TV.
Yeah, I mean, the most TV I've watched in the last month is today here.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we were watching the weather. We've been watching the weather. The storms are past now. This is pretty exciting. We didn't die today. We thought for sure yesterday at this time we were going to die today.
I bet you there was some fire independent weathermen.
Yeah, we didn't even hear sirens today, Rich. Florence did.
Like freaking out, like the sky is falling. I was like, the weathermen are 50% wrong. 100% of the time. So you have nothing to worry about tomorrow. That's what I told you yesterday.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think half of the middle of Alabama is going to disagree with that statement because I think they got slaughtered today. But luckily, it missed us.
Definitely down south, they got hit a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good question from Sean. So the non-tourney stuff, idea generation, stuff like that, is that all Scott, or do you guys participate in that?
For the most part, it is Scott. I mean, it's mostly him. We'll just kind of go on the lake or something like that, or just have a video topic in mind and we'll just go shoot it. But he usually comes up with those. That's rarely kind of my kind of thing. I just film it.
So is it like, do you guys typically go out and just like make it up as you go based on how it goes, or do you a lot of times go out with an agenda on what you want to do?
Most of the time we go out with an agenda, kind of what we want to, like a storyline. We kind of want to fit a storyline in a way, but sometimes we'll just let it kind of play out, basically.
Sure. So thumbnail question. Do you guys shoot dedicated shots for the thumbnails, or do you guys like steal stuff from the footage?
So when we remember to, we'll shoot dedicated stuff, but
I was going to say this is definitely like a 50-50 thing, and it's solely based around, did you remember to take the thumbnail shot or not?
Yeah. Something we need to improve on a little bit.
Yeah. I think that's something all like in fishing videos, that's like the hardest thing for me to like remember to get a good thumbnail shot versus like the video's done. I should do the thumbnail now. And I should probably almost get the thumbnail done before I even make the video.
Yeah. Sure. But like Scott remembers that a ton too. Like that's how crazy it is. Like he's like a content mind and he's really good at it. Is like, I was shooting a video for Scott today or on day one. And all of a sudden he just goes, oh, here, thumbnail shot. And like gets ready. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I give it to McCoy. I'm like, yeah, we got a thumbnail. He's like, dope. Like, it's just kind of how it goes.
Nice. Scott wants to know if you guys got a tech question on SSDs.
This is a good question for Chad because Chad lost a bunch of pictures at an event he shot last fall from SD card.
Oh.
I think it failed. I think he had one SD card in an A7 and it failed.
Jeez. Yeah, that's not good.
Or a Canon, something like that. But yeah, anyways.
I think we used G drives. It's just kind of something we ordered. We saw it had good reviews. We just ordered it. It was a little 2 terabyte G drive, I guess they're called. I don't know.
What SD cards do you use? Because they're different.
Is that what you said? Oh.
No, but SSD, and I'm just asking SDs because you use different ones than I use.
Lexar. I don't know exactly what brand, like what kind they are, but they're Lexars. They're like silver and black. That's the ones we use.
I've had really good luck with the Walmart ones, honestly.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Just the Lexars have really high like write speeds. You kind of need that for 4K footage most of the time.
Sure,
it gets kind of crazy.
But which were the other ones that I used to get? I don't remember what they were, but they would fail me all the time on the GoPros. I don't remember which ones those were, but they do not live with them 24/7. Just when they're on site at tournaments and shooting. Otherwise, they do not live with Scott.
Ooh, we lost you real bad there, Rich, on audio for a sec. But when do you live with? Yeah, you're more down in Clewiston.
Yeah,
so where do you live?
I live in Clewiston in the town, but I have my own place, so it's not like I live with Scott in his house. So I can kind of get away, keep work and home separate, basically. What's a work day for you look like? During the tournament season, like when we get home between tournaments, I'm usually just editing tournament footage. And then we'll have some just an agenda of videos to shoot. So it's just constantly shooting and editing and going on a trip here, going down to the Keys, that kind of thing. So it's really different every day, which keeps it really interesting. Makes it really fun.
Honestly, a day of work for McCoy is what you see on camera. And then just imagine editing it afterwards. Yeah. That's it.
Pretty much.
That's a good question. Are there times around tournaments that you can or cannot fly drones?
We can fly whenever we want.
Well, how does drone footage work during tournaments? We're allowed to use it. The only thing I've run into is in Knoxville, for example, there's like no fly zones, so you need to get kind of permission. It's a little harder to get permission, and then you can only go so far in general.
And it depends on the size of your drone and whether it can carry a payload and
Right.
Yeah, and another thing is like Scott and like Arey and Canterbury, like they can't look at any of the drone footage we get until the event's over, or like until it's public information. So like the video's released for the public, right? Because of like there's drone rules with Bass. They can't use that for practice.
That's what I was asking. So you can use it, but you guys just basically have to swear that nobody looks at the footage until time.
And that's all the camera guys. It's the same way.
You talked swordfish into fighter, so there you go. What model GoPros do you guys mostly use?
Mostly the Hero 7s at this point. We're soon going to try and make the switch to the 9s, I believe. We're using a 9 for his chesty right now, and it's kind of going well. So
those things are really impressive.
Yeah,
the
audio
like
is really good.
I think I'll be getting myself a 9 before fishing season gets going hard here.
Yeah, if you're not going to use the newest one, like a 9, I would say the 7s are really good, and the 4. Those are your bread and butter.
The 4 is the best chesty GoPro for the $1 they're ever made.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice, cool. Well, dude, I think 2 hours and 15 minutes seems like a good spot to kind of tidy things up. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out, Coy.
Yeah.
Thanks for finally coordinating this and actually get on the schedule, Bart, after 2 or 3 reschedulings.
Yeah. And then we almost had tornadoes take it out, but luckily we dodged them all. We're really good.
Nice. So we set some records tonight. Thanks for everybody that came on. That was awesome. Thanks for the donations. If you guys missed some of this, make sure you check out the replay. I'll have chapters in there so you can see what you missed. If you don't want to do that, you can listen to the audio version. Just search HellaBass on your favorite podcast. And as always, here to help you guys catch more bass and suck less.